Good morning, everybody. It's our Thursday morning virtual coffee chat. And we have a few members of the community in here that we're going to hear from today. Of course, if you are seeing this on the replay, give us a hashtag replay in the comments. And of course, put whatever aha moment you had or what part of the conversation resonated with you. And of course, reach out with any questions you have about things in your business or things with, just being a human being trying to run a business, family, balancing it all. We're here to answer questions and to serve everybody in trying, to level ourselves into being the best we can be as we grow on this adventure of being in a business. All right, so let's start with Miss Lisa Marie, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hello, everybody. Lisa Marie. I'm from Wisconsin, and I am an affiliate with My Daily Choice, which is a marketplace, the next Amazon now. Anyway, super excited with that. I've been there 5 years. And let's see, I studied the book, The Science of Getting Rich. It is my new favorite thing. It's not new, but it is my favorite thing. We just got done with this great mastermind, studying each chapter, picking it apart. And I do agree with you, Karen, but in another aspect, there is a science in success.
Are you from, Lisa?
I'm sorry, what?
What part of the country are you from?
Wisconsin, I said, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost up by Canada. It's very cold here in the winter. And Northwest Wisconsin, we're like on one side of Lake Superior.
Okay.
We used to work in Minnesota on the other side of Lake Superior, so it's kind of cool.
Okay. Miss Arlene, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Arlene Smith. I'm affiliated with Paparazzi Accessories. I'm the CEO of Beautiful Unique Designs. Sorry, I'm stuttering. And I'm from Florida.
From Florida. All right. Nice and warm there. All right, Miss
No.
Hi, I'm Deb Bollicky. I'm from Minnesota, and I am an Avon representative.
All right. This is our community today. Welcome, ladies. I'm so excited to have you here. So anybody have a question? Anybody want to discuss anything or any suggestions for today's chat? It's an open book, huh? All right.
Your show. You got the floor. Your show.
Well, it's not really my show, but all right. So we have Memorial Day coming up. Now everybody knows it's big sales, big everything, barbecues. It's a very commercialized thing. What does Memorial Day mean to you and your business?
Well, I'll jump on. To me personally, it has everything to do with veterans. My dad was a veteran. I have uncles, I have brothers, I have brother-in-laws. Very, very patriotic family per se. But for my business, it's bug guard mosquito repellent. Okay. It's almost like mosquito Christmas for me right now. Everybody wants the bug guard and the sunscreen, and so to me, it's a good time.
Good. Okay. Do you buy extra bulk and carry it around with you?
Yep. I would say I probably have 3 of each thing in my car at all times.
Cool. All right, Miss Arlene.
It means freedom to me. For my business, it is what sales go on, but I don't do a whole lot of sales right now. I do take my stuff everywhere I go, even fishing, so. And I probably shouldn't be working today, but I have to.
The tree people are here. You 3 talk. I have to go move my car. I forgot to move my car. Mom's having a tree removed. I'll be right back. Y'all free talk.
Hi, ladies.
Do you want me
Lisa.
to- Yeah, I'll go ahead, I guess. Memorial Day to me is freedom as well. We have many veterans in our family, and also our company donated over $5 million last year to the veterans from
Great.
our well, $5 million worth of CBD for the veterans. That was an amazing thing. So that's really cool for me. And we also do out of the essential oil lines, we do make a bug repellent too. So
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
good.
it's bug time here in Minnesota, that's
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh,
I'm
have
sure in
they not
Wisconsin
come out?
also.
I let just this whole week, I think, yeah, since Monday, they're like this big and they're just everywhere. Oh my God.
Florida too.
Yeah.
They got them in
You guys
Florida.
have,
All
I
right.
didn't think that you had mosquitoes there.
In Florida,
Yeah.
this is the worst state for mosquitoes I've ever seen.
Seriously, I have been in Florida and what part of Florida are you at?
Daytona,
Is that like mid? Is it
Easton.
okay, over like
Up,
Delray
it's up
Beach?
just south of Jacksonville.
Okay, so you are in the upper part of Florida then. So maybe that's why. I've
Yep, I've
always
never
been
been
in
up
the
there either.
southern. Yeah,
No,
I've
there's
been
mosquitoes everywhere in Florida. I can tell you that. You
Mhm.
might just not come at the right time of year.
Maybe.
All
That's
right,
true.
ladies. Sorry about that.
Hey,
we got rain moving in, so I spent the morning before this mowing the yard. And I was supposed to move my car and I forgot.
That's what I'm doing immediately after.
You know, the summer is my chore of the yard. That's one of the things I help mom out with. And let me close this door because the dog. Oh.
Do you ladies have gardens too?
I have a garden that my husband put up on, it's like a raised garden, but it's up about 4 feet. So it's
Okay,
like
that's
waist level for me, which is really nice.
You know, I'm actually considering making a bunch of those because we have a sawmill and I've
Okay.
seen them. So I think we have all kinds of cedar boards that we can cut. So
Oh, they are so nice. No more bad back in the garden.
I think I am going to go with the raised beds. I'm going to leave all my flowers are bulbs, so they come back every year. But for the raised garden, that's what I'm going to do now from here on out. So
does anybody have plans for the holiday for networking or just family plans?
We are moving my dad to assisted living. So my brother's coming up from Florida to help and to see him after 2 years. So I think it's going to be an emotional weekend, but we'll get through it.
There's no other way to do it. You have to put one foot in front of the other and just, try to hold yourself together and just, deep breaths. I found that when I get really stressed, I do a lot. I practice my deep breathing because it keeps the chemicals better in your brain for thinking clearly.
Yep, I heard that. Yep.
And
it
so,
also, that
whenever you really get where you're just not real sure, you just take, from the gut, really deep breaths and about 3 or 4 of them. And sometimes if you even hold it a little bit, just for a couple seconds before you breathe it out, it just really balances some of your chemicals from your going to your brain and stuff and releases stuff. You can think clearer because that's half of the time when we react to stuff, especially when we're, anytime you're dealing with medical conditions and nurses and technicians and, administrators, it just gets, everybody has their agenda and it doesn't always feel nice.
Right.
Right. And then that'll be Saturday. And then Sunday, of course, which we usually do on Saturday, we'll hit all the cemeteries for my grandparents, my mom, my husband's parents, and put flowers out. And we're hoping to get my dad in the car and just have him ride along with us because
Oh, that would be
it'd
good.
give him fresh air. And him and my mom used to do it every year. That's why it kind of started for us in the first place. So,
Right.
and then Monday, probably going to a veterans program and maybe out to eat or something after that. So pretty laid back, except for the moving.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is I try to make sure that at this point in life that it's more about honoring, spending more time in honoring the families that have lost loved ones, and for their sacrifice. I mean, Memorial Day is all about remembering their sacrifice and the families that have, have gone through it, will go through it. It's a hard thing no matter how you lose somebody in your family, but our country is built on the backs of all of our military.
Exactly.
Yep.
And the freedoms that we have, I count myself very blessed, and I really have a hard time with all of the bashing that goes on about our country and about, you don't have to agree right or wrong, left or right, but you have to honor this country, or don't be here. That's what I'm saying. If you don't, if you can disagree, but you do not have to be ugly and disrespect what is built. You fight the things that you don't like the right way, but you honor the people who have sacrificed so much to give us even the right to do it.
You know what absolutely appalls me is the people that are out online and representing themselves as military from the USA or military for any country in that matter, and portraying themselves to be someone they are not in order to scam people.
Yes.
Or befriend. You are looking for women that are lonely or old, and I have ran into, I'm sorry to kind of put a dimmer on things, but I feel very strongly what that is doing to us as a society as a whole. I find it appalling.
It is appalling. The thing is, the best, and this is, to me personally, I equate it to man has not changed in the last 500 years. No matter what decade, century you're talking about, there were people who trying to steal from other people. So man has not changed. The thing is, you have to learn how to protect yourself or how to spot it, so that you don't fall victim. The thing is in this day and age, it used to be when I was a very little girl, everybody spoke pretty much the truth. If somebody said something, that was the truth. You could take it to the bank.
Right.
Nowadays,
I question everything now. Everything.
Now you have to question everything, and you should question everything, because most everything now is based on 1% truth and 99% exaggeration, lie, disinformation. And
God knows how far back that paradigm goes.
This is true.
And it's not your fault. It's not our fault.
But you make the best decisions that you can, but you have to understand that they're not going to go away, and we can be appalled and we can be as offended as we want. That doesn't solve anything.
No, but you do need to be aware, and unfortunately, am I talking on top of somebody? I'm sorry.
No, we have okay. I muted everybody just for a minute. Wait a minute, Lisa Marie. Whoops, wait a minute. Let me unmute. Okay, now. All right, Lisa Marie, unmute. I had to mute the background noise. So, Lisa, you can unmute. There you go.
Yeah, what I
was that me? I had to move my car for the windshield guy.
Okay. I don't know, but there was background noise, so I muted everybody because I didn't know whose it was.
Okay.
All right.
What I was gonna say is, unfortunately, and I know this firsthand because I have been scammed severely 7 years ago, and that stays with a person for a long time. I'm still not over that, and that holds me up in a few areas as far as my business goes, because I don't want to put myself out there. But once you are, unfortunately, you know what to look for. There have been several attempts on me.
Mhm.
Several. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. So if a person can be aware before they get to, just don't ever, ever, ever give any information to anybody. They can say whatever they want, and they are very convincing, believe me, very convincing. Just don't, period.
Oh, if it, the thing is you can always hang up from that person and call your own institutions. You can call and verify from other ways, things. But
Oh, I'm talking online.
but
Not,
that's what I'm saying. They call you, they send you emails, they send you alerts. Oh, I don't pay any attention to any of it.
actually, I don't get any emails. It's all on Facebook,
It's
on
all on Facebook.
Instagram.
Well, that's true. I get a lot of, but I mean, you have to consider the source. So
For
I
sure.
don't live in fear. I mean, I've had a lot of challenging things. I haven't been money scammed from anybody, but I mean, I've been scammed by customers writing me bad checks and then disappearing.
Yep.
Like new customers, and I go to their house and I bring them their stuff and they write me a bad check, and then you can't get in touch with them. And it's just so you just never know about people. The best
But
thing I can tell
don't
people,
you think that they make it very difficult for us online people that have brought their business online? Don't you think that has really put a damper on things in that area, as far as
but
people?
most of your companies now have, I don't do any orders online unless they go through my company store, because the store
Oh,
then
right.
is protected. That it's the website. I'm not personally damaged by any of it. But what I want to encourage people to do, and this is what I would encourage you, Lisa Marie, is to let go of it. Because the more you hold on to it, you live in fear and you live in scarcity.
I absolutely have. I'm talking the 7 years up to just recently. I have finally let it go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it doesn't do any good to think about things that have happened in the past that have hurt you, that have damaged you. Or even now, as I learn to be a kinder person, I think back on some of the ways that I treated people, and I feel badly for my own behavior. And it's like, oh my God, I want to call them up and tell them I'm so sorry that I had that attitude, because I was in a wrong place at the time that I had that attitude. But I have to let go of it, because you can't even be bad with yourself. We live each day hopefully being the best we can be at that moment, and then you have to let it go. And if you didn't do well for the day, then forgive yourself, forgive others, and move on to the next day and the next hour of stepping up to be the person that you should be. Does that make sense to anybody?
Were you talking about the people that sell online getting scammed?
That's what Lisa Marie was talking about.
Yeah,
I've never had it, but I mean,
I think when we communicate and make friends with people on social media, it is very difficult because of the scammers online. I have never been scammed through my business, not ever. That isn't
No,
what that
we
is
were
not what I
we were
meant.
told who to choose and who not to choose on our pages.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, you had to
Because
do
like you said, you can't trust anybody.
Right. You don't order anything. You don't ship anything out. You let the money go through the sources that can verify it for you. You know, you learn to do due diligence, and I mean, I don't know who, it was a couple of chats ago that somebody was talking, I think it was Maria was talking about an email she got, and it's the exact same one we used to get in Avon 30 years ago. I mean, it was like, oh my God, they're still out there trying to get reps to do these big orders and saying they're going to send this cashier's check. When will they get tired of that?
When they mention cashier's check or a regular check, I don't go with it.
No, you can't. They look too, you don't do anything. I just tell them, you want to order something, you go through the website. Other than that,
Right.
You can come pay me and pick it up at the same time, but material is not going out and nothing's going in my checking account that I can't put a face to. So you better bring your little face here to my house. Which none of them are going to do. Oh no, I'm sending an agent to do that. Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, my agent is.
Or my personal assistant's gonna come send you money orders. Yep. Don't take money orders; they're fake.
Nope, they are fake. They are absolutely fake. And I don't. That's why I pretty much got out of the delivery. The person. Doing direct sales.
I was going to ask, does Avon still do it that way, or you can actually go to a website? I'm sure.
Oh no,
right?
We have our own website. I still do Avon, and I have.
Oh, you're Avon too?
Guys, I'm a multiple streams of income.
You can do that within one company, though, Karen.
What?
You can do that within one company.
You can do that with more than one company. So it's a matter.
Why would? Yeah, but do you have multiple charges for those companies?
Well, the thing about Avon is I had a huge Avon business years ago. And when I got back into Avon, I just had a few customers that wanted to come by my house and pick it up. They wanted, and so, I don't do it as a main business, but I do it as a service to the ones who wanted me to come back so that I could make it easy for them.
Sure.
It's a little bit here and it's a little bit there, but it's in serving people, it's about making people happy.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I can make a few people happy by being the Avon lady down the street that they don't have to pay the shipping from the company, and I can do an order every other month, Now,
I just think right now with the way things are in the society, and I'm telling you, the cost of living is ridiculous. People are struggling.
Yes,
there are so many people struggling. I don't care what they say, they are struggling. And if you can give an opportunity that costs them absolutely nothing and give them multiple streams of income, why would a person just not even consider that? Not even look. I'm serious.
Right.
Well,
let me try to explain because this is brand new and I do want to talk about it if I can, but it is your show.
This is not about, we're not pushing businesses here. This is about business struggles and business things.
Okay, well then we disagree, because I think this is a huge struggle for a lot of businesses, a lot of business people, but I respect that.
Well, technology is too.
I'm sorry, Arlene, what did you say?
Technology is a big struggle too for a lot of people, because we didn't grow up with it.
And that's true. The thing is that's the things we're going to discuss. If somebody wants to hear about what you have to say, you can private message, people in the group and see if they're interested. But, the thing about different opportunities for people is so many people are asked to sell and buy so many things. Unless you have conversations with people one-on-one to find out if they're open, if they have time. So many people say, I just don't want to sell anything. So many people don't understand. And it's not that they don't need the opportunity, but it scares them. And they think, I don't want to be a salesperson. Too many, especially women, have the whole notion that sales is slimy, sales is pushy, sales is not is not nice. And that makes it hard because the ones that are involved with it, they feel like they are sometimes looked down on, and we don't even want to open our mouth about what we do. But I do want to remind
what? I felt the same way. Absolutely. But that is a perception.
It is a perception.
Yeah.
In the group, I don't know if anybody remembers, the whole way I started this group was about books. Way back when I first started this group, it was about giving people an opportunity to hear books that will change how they understand business and understand selling. And in the group, in the files, in the guides are 2 books that if you have not done them, you should. One is Selling You, because sales is not about the product, it's about selling you. And exactly. I have the audiobook in there for people to go through to learn how to sell you. The second book that I have in there that's excellent, that goes right along with it, is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And those 2 books I put in there, and I leave them in there because as we get new members, I want them to understand part of leadership is doing self-development. Having your own business is about doing self-development. It's just like you said, Lisa Marie, doing your book, the science of getting rich. And it is a science because the science is about the energy. And they've proven the energy of money. They've proven the energy of different things. And you have to understand how to put yourself in that energy, in that science, to access it. So the books that I have in there are designed to help us elevate ourselves. And, sometimes I go back and redo books because you can't go through a book once and remember everything. So for anybody watching the replay, I hope that you would know in the guides, in the Summit Seekers group, are books. They're audiobooks. They're audiobooks that I've recorded a video of. You don't have to watch them. All you have to do is hit the play and listen chapter by chapter, and it will help you understand better how to sell yourself, because people buy their products from you, how you make them feel. So Arlene, have you done that book?
No, I have not, but we have a team leader on our group that's very adamant about that. And she goes through the sales thing where you're not supposed to sell, you're selling yourself. Right.
But I'm just saying, if you want to have it from Napoleon Hill, who was the master salesman, he taught sales back in the olden day. And see what he said, some of the techniques he used, you still need today, even though it doesn't seem like it. He talked about doing almost like a pep talk before he went and saw anybody to sell them anything. Because if you're not right up here and you start talking business and you're not right in your own mind about it, or you're having a crappy day and you decide, oh, I'm going to go talk to this person, it's not going to come off right. Your energy's not right. So he talks about the importance of, having that talk with yourself, that pep talk, that meditation, and doing your research and knowing your product and how to leverage the different things that you can do for yourself to make the whole adventure so much easier. So, I believe companies do the best they can within the company, what the company wants you to experience. But I believe in education outside of the company, only because if the company is the only place you're getting your information, then it could be one-sided.
Exactly. That's why I jump on other things like this.
Right. You have to be proactive for yourself in your self-development. I can't I've got another book in there, but I've read like Who Moved My Cheese? Has anybody ever done Who Moved My Cheese?
Heard that one.
Huh?
I never heard of that one.
Oh my God. Who moved the cheese? It's a little teeny book, but it talks about the psychology of different. I'm sorry, Maria.
It struck me as funny because it was real.
It was real. Oh my God. It was, because it's people's attitudes, and Who Moved the Cheese is about attitudes about different things. And it's, and you're dealing with so many different people when you do sales. It's nice to know and recognize when you meet some other people that are maybe in that mode. You can say, "Ooh, I remember about reading about that kind of a person. How can I relate? How can I use words that will key in with them?" But I've been doing a one on sales techniques, and one of the biggest techniques that they talk that I thought was so powerful is that everything is about the customer. You don't use the word I, my, or me. I found this fabulous. No. You are going to be so transformed by the use of this product. It's all about you and what it can do for them. And the more you learn to use the word you when you're talking to people, the better it will come across not being salesy.
I have to laugh because growing up, my father was a vacuum cleaner salesman for a while.
Right.
And he can sell we always used to say he can sell the shirt off his back. And my son's just like that, but it's really not them selling the product. It's their personality and them.
Mm-hmm. It's all how you make people feel. When you make people feel good about themselves in your presence, they'll buy anything you have, because then they trust you. They feel that you're not going to violate them. And that's the biggest thing. And that's why these scammers, if you push a little bit, is Who Moved the Cheese in the guides too. I don't think I've put that one. I quit putting recordings in the guides because people weren't going through them. So I haven't loaded any more books in there. I just try to reference telling people about books that I found totally enthralling in learning about other people and learning about attitudes and learning about what to even recognize in myself, because we all were little girls long time ago, right?
Yep.
And we had a lot of influences when we were little, and we didn't get to pick or understand what we were fed, whether it was right or wrong. Okay. And people talk and raise children to the best of their ability to what they were taught. And the thing is, if you don't question sometimes the things you were taught, then you keep making or passing on the same box.
Yeah.
And so when you read books like Who Moved the Cheese, Selling You, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, it helps you question some of the things within yourself. Is, ooh, maybe I have that attitude. You kind of see some of your own habits in them. And when we change our habits, we change the results in our lives. That to me is the biggest asset to doing self-development, and why I do and read books. Right now, I'm doing a book called Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. And he talks all about the ego. Anybody know what the ego is?
When you think about all that.
The ego is the part of you that says, how dare you do that to me? It's the I, it's the one of being in control. The ego is the part that wants to dominate everything. So the ego is most of the time our worst enemy, because the ego doesn't want to understand anybody. It's the narcissist. It's the part of you that says me first. What's in it for me? I got to have my way. And it's learning to recognize when your ego is in control and when to try to move around it to be the better person than what the ego wants you to be. So it's, you progress in your books in how you grow. So I don't have
Back to what you were just saying a little bit ago about selling the product and not being salesy. I just had a new rep. Well, she's not a rep yet. She's thinking about being a rep. And she said that she doesn't like to sell. She doesn't like to talk people into getting things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was talking with her, I made it known that in my business anyway, or this is how I do my business, I don't sell Avon. Avon sells itself. What I do is I sell me and the kindness and the problem solving that I can do for my customers.
Right.
And I invite them to try the products. They're going to most likely like the product and then they're going to buy. So I don't go out to sell. I go out to basically brand myself and the products that we have without trying to sell it, if that makes sense.
Well, the thing is, when you get a new product, it's kind of like, and when I was an Avon representative, when I was really moving the business, we would get a new scent. And before it even came out or we had samples, I would tell people, everybody's scent is different, but this one has traces of this and traces of that and, top notes, and everybody's chemistry reacts differently with every top note. When you find a fragrance that really speaks to you or that kind of lays well with you, find out what the notes are in it, because then when you see another fragrance that has those notes, it's already going to be a good fit for you. So
my dad was a car salesman for many, 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 many years. And he said basically the same thing. You can't sell anybody a car. You got to sell the benefits.
Right.
And get them behind the wheel to try it. And once they try it, they'll decide if they're going to buy it.
Right. It's I've heard stories of people going into salesmen, and the salesman will come up and say, I have this car. It has this, 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 and this. She goes, I would like this. Oh, no, you got to look at this car. It's got this, this, and this, and this. I want something that has this and this. Oh, no, but this is better.
Mm-hmm.
They're not listening to what you're in there for. So it's still a matter of getting to know and listening to what the customer does, because if you don't sell them now, in the education of what you provide, you will sell them later.
Correct.
So, and I tell people, Avon has so many different kinds of products. You can sit there and talk about the different things in perfumes. You can talk about the different types of essential oils and what parts of the brain they trigger. You can talk about, how accessories, fit with different styles. And you can do a lot of education without selling anything. And then you could do a curiosity that says, I bought a new outfit. I'm thinking about, would this necklace look good with you, you think? Or this one?
Yeah.
You're showing two new pieces. Hey, this one or this one?
And the hope is they take them both.
The thing is they're going to tell you which one they think looks good on you. But in the process of doing that, you have shown them two pieces of jewelry.
Absolutely.
And you asked them to buy a thing. You've asked them to choose which one was better on you.
Yeah. Creative selling.
It is creative. And that is where they build the trust in you, because you become a real person to them, not just pictures,
Right.
not just buy me, you don't even have to say or show a can of Bug Guard anymore. And you can say the mosquitoes are out. I am so glad I'm staying deep free with my Bug Guard. You don't even
The
have
rest is up to them.
the rest is up to them.
And Avon's rep.
So, it's learning how to do the little things within social media that clue people in. If they need it, they need it. If they don't, they don't. But you have to find what will make you stand out better than the other person.
Yep.
And the thing is some people don't get bit much by bugs, and some people just don't like putting any kind of chemicals on their body. And so I used to talk about the Skin So Soft gelled oil. See, I don't get bit much by bugs. So you could talk about the different types of people. And like my mom uses the Skin So Soft gelled oil because she doesn't get bit much by mosquitoes. And the gelled oil keeps her all moisturized and keeps the bugs, whatever few bugs might be brave. And you talk about how different people, some people attract everything. They even walk outside and it feels like a magnet. And you need a different type of Bug Guard for that. Versus the nighttime, we're going out, we're going to be out in the backyard. I just need this light one. You talk, it's more an educational thing than it is, the Bug Guard is on sale.
Let me say something and then I'll be ready.
So anyway, it's all about people getting to know that you care enough about helping them find the right product for them. And that's the main thing. Anybody else have any questions or anything before we tie this up?
No, it's very informative.
Well, I'm glad. I feel like I've been out of sorts today with having to move the car and being disjointed, but
I think we're all doing that. I'm sweeping and doing dishes.
so,
I'm getting a windshield in.
we fit everything in. So, but it's so good to see you all. I do have a YouTube channel that I am putting these on. If you have people or people that want to see the Millionaire series, because I have the Millionaire women in the guides as well that give a lot of tips on how to scale, how to move into being a woman that is prosperous and wealthy, because none of us know how to do that. Yes.
I just wanted to say something. I don't know if it was Marcy, her picture's gone, about raised beds, but I had to get outside to start to feed before it got hot. But I learned in raised beds, if she could get a couple of small logs of trees and put in the bottom of the raised bed, I'll go ahead and post on your page what it's called. I believe it's a Norwegian way of doing things. And then you put the dirt on top. So 2/3 is going to be the logs, which will end up decomposing and adding nutrients to the soil. Then put the soil on and mix the soil with some sand and take the pH balance test that they have at Home Depot. I didn't do that the first year and I lost a lot of it. Besides, hoppers ate a lot. So, someone else told me that on Facebook and I Googled it and I have it in queue in my Safari. I just don't want to lose everybody, but I'll post it on one of your pages. It's really helpful. Very helpful.
That's a good idea, especially when we're going to be building more of them so we can put more garden products in.
Well,
we just have one,
drainage.
one
Doesn't
small
the
one.
logs help with drainage and stuff so that they don't become waterlogged?
Yes, and not only that, the varmints can't dig down through the logs. So my raised beds are just I wish I could get myself on over. I didn't do anything this year. They're overtaken with thistle, weeds. I didn't put anything down like weed barrier or rock. My whole driveway is all this crushed up cement because it really rains a lot here in Texas and it's a muddy muck mess. So I've learned to live with it, and you do before the rain, after the rain, and you get it all tied up. But my husband took some corrugated old barn, which is from our sheds. He took that, and they're raised that high. So I think he made frames on the inside. He did that 2 years ago. And then we put a perimeter around it because our cattle eat around our house. So I don't want them eating my vegetables.
Right.
But because of foot surgery, I didn't get to do anything. And my granddaughter wasn't much help the year before, so I just said the heck with it. But I did can a lot of jellies. And people would give me fruit. But if you put a perimeter around it, you don't have cats. It's harder for squirrels to get in. So this, you can't even see the raised beds, is my garden. Isn't it awful? It's just awful.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
It
And
happens.
you can barely see the perimeter around it there. He had wood around the top. And so I used some big old buckets. I found a rancher like myself that used the licks, and he didn't live too far up the road. And I had my tomatoes. And then I covered them with netting to help keep the hoppers out, which only did that for 2 days. So those big old tubs work for just tomatoes. So that's my 2 cents worth. I have to redo the whole garden.
That's all
My
right.
husband just had shoulder surgery, so it's not working on my priority.
It's all right. You do what you can do. And you know,
Yes.
you enjoy what you can do. Life's too short to beat yourself up over stuff that you can't control.
And you taught me that. Do not beat yourself up over stuff you can't get done. You cannot control it. So let it go.
That's it. Let it go. And, you know, there's always next year. If you can't get it done this year, you know, see about saving up some money and hire somebody really early in the season to get it all cleaned out.
Yeah, I wish that was the easiest thing. I've been looking for somebody for 2 years to level our modular. It's just nobody wants to work anymore. Nobody.
They don't. Nope.
Nope.
No, well,
And if they do, they want such an exorbitant amount, you can't afford it.
Well, I understand that. But you know, the thing is when you put things out there for the universe to take care of, you'd be amazed at how things can fall into place when you let the universe handle it rather than you trying to do it.
Oh, I learned that lesson this morning. My husband said, "Why are you preparing the dog foods when I can do it? I still have a right hand." I said, "You were told not to bend over and pick up anything more than a pound." So I said to myself, I even told him, I said, "Well, if you're still hurting and aching and arguing, I don't want to hear about it in 8 months. No, I'll just blame the surgeon." I said, "No, the blame needs to go to you because you didn't take care of yourself." And I didn't say another thing. You've taught me to be bold, and I appreciate that more than anything.
Sometimes you just got to plant that seed and let them figure it out.
Yep.
All right, ladies.
All right, ladies, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, my name is Karen Thomas. But guess what? That is not important. What's important is your success online. I can help you start a successful, thriving business online, no matter how many times you have failed. If you have a desire to win, you can. All you need is Wi-Fi, a laptop or desktop, and be able to follow simple directions. Reach out to me and I can show you exactly how.